Yeah, so what I'm saying is like if you have the coupons for the pizza, it is kind of free in a sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, a portion of it is free, so it's kind of like rounding up time where it eventually becomes free, right?
Exactly. You can
Yeah,
always round up time, and people don't
yeah.
understand that the illusion of time is much like the illusion of math, and all it
The
is just
illusion of pizza,
and I it's more of a delusion, but
the pizza delusion.
the delusional pizza. All right, thank you everyone for
Oh my
joining us. Welcome
god.
to More Than Metal.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
We're talking about more than metal.
More Than Metal. I don't know pizza. Have you ever been to like a heavy metal pizza place?
No.
It's dope, dude.
What? Oh my.
Heavy metal. You ever been to a heavy metal bar?
I've been to a heavy metal bar. Yes, I've been to a heavy
I,
metal burger shop.
I've been to like heavy metal burger shops are good. I haven't been to one of those. But I have done like heavy metal pizza shops. That's like the best, dude.
I
Uh,
That
it's a
sounds
good time.
incredible. I don't know if there's any near me, but that would be
There
surprising if there weren't.
there is one I know. I think it's in Denver. And
It's
I
a little
have one of
bit
their
far for me.
shirts, and it's like super like they if by request they you can order the pentagram cut pizza.
Oh my fucking god.
Yes.
That's incredible.
I have one of their T-shirts, and it is amazing. And I can't remember the name of it, and I feel bad. But there's like a kind of heavy metal place. There's actually some up in Pacific Northwest. I know Portland has a few, and I think there might
Mm,
be one in Seattle. So if you're up there, take a look for heavy
yeah,
metal pizza.
that's a very
Uh,
PNW thing.
it feels that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
All
said,
right.
we got an episode for you today.
Yeah, not about pizza.
We'll be doing well. Yeah, it's lunchtime, guys. We record these things at noon,
Yeah.
so it's kind of our own fault. But
Hmm.
today we're doing another swap. We have two
Yeah.
albums up, which we will tell you about after this fine opening. Bill, what are you listening to?
Yes. God. Right now, I've just been it now. It just very recently came out about 10 days ago.
Okay.
The new Rivers of Nile
Oh
album.
yeah.
Yeah, they just God, they're tech death, I think, right? Like that's kind of their vibe, but it's really good. I've been like listening to the songs on loop. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I loved the singles they put out, House of Light and Water in Time.
Mm, mm.
But the one that's been really carrying it for me is the opener. It's such a solid opener. The suborbital blues.
Oh,
They're
great
also
title.
I know they're also really good at names.
Hmm.
And there's another good song on there called Despair Church. And I'm kind of like, that's where I want to go to. Like, that sounds great. It's also just a great album. I highly recommend it.
I'll give that one a tune. That's not a band I'm totally familiar with. So, and they're
Mm,
one of those bands that I don't have an opinion of. Like,
mm.
and I do that too. People are like, I haven't heard the band. I haven't heard the band. I'm like, I have no opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
They're weird. They're some weird dudes, but I love them. I've
I
been
think that's
listening to them
fun.
for some.
Weird metal guys are fun, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I have been
Yeah. What about you?
listening to. I've been on a kick after I saw this guy. I saw him live back in February, opening for Uncle Acid. And I'm probably gonna butcher. I might butcher the name here, but Jonathan Hulton.
Jonathan Holton.
Hulton, yeah, he is. He used to be in Tribulation.
Oh, good to
And
know.
he is. How do I put this lightly? He is a very beautiful man. Like there are beautiful people in the
Hmm.
world, and this man is like unearthly beautiful. And he has a few albums that have come out over the years. He just had a new one come out called "The Eyes of the Living Night." And I just finally got a copy of it, and I was listening to that and really enjoying that. But I went back and got his earlier work, Chance from Another Place and the Forest Sessions, and watching a bunch of his live performances at various like venues in Europe and around in different festivals he's played. And it's really impressive. It's acoustic, it's very solemn, it's very personal. It's not heavy metal, it's very different than like his work with Tribulation. But really been enjoying I think it's Hulten or Hultine, I'm not sure how to say it. But he does a lot of costuming. Comes out and does a very big presence. But he came out when we saw him Uncle Acid. It was just him by himself. He had a little bit of backing track here and there, but mostly his acoustic guitar and a little bit of electric at points. But really good voice. Very personal. Very personal.
Oh, yes, he's beautiful. I'm looking
Mhm.
at pictures right now. Oh my God. God,
Yeah,
why can't I just look like that? Whoa.
it's yeah, man.
The vibe.
I don't say this lightly, especially because I am a huge Michael Moorcock fan, an Elric fan. But he is who I would cast as Elric in a movie, and
Oh,
that's not me going light on it.
oh yeah.
Uh,
I can see that. That
go
works.
look at some photos of him playing with Tribulation when he's more aggressive looking. Like it's spot on.
Ooh.
It looks good. But yeah, he's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend checking out his music.
Oh, I
The
absolutely
song
will.
the song I really like is "Where Devils Weep" is
Where
very
devils
good.
weep.
Yeah, and
Despair Church.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Wow.
there's all kinds of religious overtones. I actually have a book about that. About it's called "Season of the Witch: How the Occult Saved Rock and Roll," looking at back in the '70s and '60s and how using that to keep attention on rock and roll from like Bowie and Led Zeppelin and Black
Yeah.
Sabbath. It's a pretty good book. I would recommend it.
That's awesome.
Um, so today's episode is a swap where Bill gives me an album, I give Bill an album, and then we respectively listen. And something we haven't listened to before. It may be an artist we're not familiar with at all, or maybe had heard some stuff about. Bill, you gave me an album by an artist called a band called Architects,
Yes.
and specifically their album "All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us." We are on a freaking religious
Religious
kick.
kick.
It
Yeah.
is all religion all the way down, guys. As
Mhm.
far as you go down to, and this is a this came out in 2016, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's been around for a
2016.
while, and they are a British metalcore band.
Brighton, baby.
Brighton.
Brighton based metalcore.
You know, Brighton's produced some pretty good bands actually, and that's actually a place I've heard some of my favorite live recordings of some bands that have been actually out of Brighton like venues. So that's pretty cool. Um, and I noticed in their description on Wikipedia, influenced by bands like the Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yes.
I did see Dillinger Escape Plan live once, open for Deftones
Ooh. Oh my God.
at the Warfield. Actually,
Oh my God.
it was they were good. They were fun live. It's
I
not
bet
my
they're
cup.
fun live.
It's not my cup of tea, but I was like, okay, you guys are putting on a show and you guys are doing some stuff and you're entertaining the crowd. Like I'm getting something
Yeah.
out of this
That's
performance
good.
that's not what I would get just listening to your album at home, which is really what a live performance should do.
Oh yeah.
But I went and gave this one a listen, and I will say first off, like metalcore, I was like, okay, I'm in for it. I'm in for
Okay.
it. Bill knows me. I think it's starting to know me a little bit better, but
Yeah. Oh
I went
yes.
and listened to it.
Podcast is a hell of a way to learn about someone.
No, it's good. It is true. We spend some hours together here. It's I'm seeing you more often than I am seeing any therapist, which is never. So
Well, hopefully I can fill that same niche. You're talking about music.
that's a dangerous game, friend.
Oh yes.
I thought that so architects. So the first thing I noticed was, and this is how I mean most people approach music. Period is you notice the vocals first, and
Yes.
and this is not like some weird thing I do. It's because all of us, regardless, like can sing. Anybody can sing. Not whether or not well is a different story, but everybody can relate to the vocalist. That's why your lead singer is such an important part of a band.
Yes.
Ask David Lee Roth, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, if you want the front man of all front men, it's David Lee Roth.
David. Yeah. Oh, come on.
Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely 100%. Really, bigger than life kind of personality, and really connects with the audience somehow. But you can hear someone singing, and you know what it is to sing, and you know what it is to sing in certain ways and how hard it is. So I listened to this, and I felt like one of the things I noticed about the vocals was that it is a screaming vocal. It's not a growl. It's not the black metal type stuff. It's not like a guttural thing. It actually is like high screaming, not singing in a lot of regards. There is some singing on it to all degrees, and they do pull back. And the vocals at points, I'm gonna be correct. I can't name you tracks because I listened to the whole thing through as an album.
Yeah.
And that was actually, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But like, there was some of the tracks where like they kind of sang in like this kind of emo style, I would call.
Oh,
like
they're very emo.
Yeah, there's the emo stuff where it's like, "Daddy didn't buy me candy at the fair." Like it's stuff like that. Like it kind of broke it for me at points. But it pulls you out, and I do like a fluctuation in vocals, so I did respect that a little bit. However, that said, I am not a screaming fan, and people think I am because I listen to black metal or I listen to like stuff that's really guttural, but like that's not.
They're very different.
It's very different, and when I've had students in the past listen to music for classes and we looked at those kind of vocals, they think that it's all screaming. And I'll be like, here, watch a video of this person singing. And they're definitely not screaming. Going to see Emperor live, when they're doing stuff, he's not like, he's not screaming. He's guttural because he can't scream that long. Most people cannot scream that long. So I will say, like, that's actually one thing I had a lot of respect for was their vocalist, was how well. Is it the same vocals throughout all the band, or did they swapped?
Yes, except for the first album.
Oh, that's always the case. I know that. Yeah. I know that game. Yeah. So I was listening. I kind of, that was a little, like, I was like off-putting to me, but it made me cagey. But then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the music. I'm gonna stick to the music, and the music's loud. I will say the music's pretty loud, like compared to the vocals. They don't do the thing where like I've seen bands that are very, very good, and they use the vocals to drown out the actual music. And that and if you're like a pop singer, that's one thing. If you're Lady Gaga, do that. That's what you should be doing. But if you're like a rock band, probably not. And they didn't do that, and I really like that. The one thing I noticed about, and this is something I guess is kind of a metalcore thing, is like I was listening to it and I started noticing like there was like breakdowns like constantly. Like they were using breakdowns to like as like bridges and stuff.
Oh yes,
like constantly.
Yes.
And so I'm like, okay, like, oh, this is the breakdown. Oh, it's another breakdown. Oh, there's a little, and like these little breakdowns are sprinkled. And I was like, I don't know if I like that or not. It's just kind of perception I had. I think it works for them.
Taste.
It's an acquired taste, yeah. And we'll talk, and I'll talk about like you'll see where I'm going with this quickly and why it made me cagey. A lot of power chords.
Yes.
They are very dependent upon power chords. Like it carries the music throughout, was the power chords. And this is where it led me. This is why I was so cagey about it. It's nu metal-ish. It's very nu metal-ish, but it doesn't do like what usually nu metal does, this kind of hip hop element. And the people know how to tune their instruments.
Yes, they do.
They do. I do think that like they know what they're doing. I think that they're good at what they do. I don't think it's for me. And the reason why is that despite all these these major like fluctuations of like vocals and like the boom, 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 like the big kind of heavy sounds, this album was flat to me. Everything kind of, that's why I can't name the tracks, because I was listening to it and I couldn't tell you when one track began, the next one started a lot. So, and I can hear differences in them just to a degree, but it felt like nothing stuck out to me except for maybe when he swapped to the emo vocals. That's where it kind of got the biggest swap to me, but they're doing so much so frequently that I felt like I had a hard time having stuff shine. One thing I thought was really cool is I did like, it's really subtle in the music. It's hard to hear. There's some really good, interesting synth work in the background.
Yes.
Like, so I was trying to catch onto that. Goes back to like my tips for listening to Emperor, which is like, go find that one that you can catch on to an Emperor. You can catch on to the synth work in the back. It's kind of fun. And then branch out. This though, it's drowned out. Like it's very subtle. You have to really listen to it very carefully. So I was having to be more active in the listening to catch those parts. But which isn't a bad thing, because I like being an active listener. So I do kind of respect that.
It gives you a lot to listen to. Absolutely.
So here's my final thought I wrote down my notes here. They remind me of a salad bar.
God, your analogies are so funny.
Okay, so here's why. So you ever go to a salad bar and you're like, or like a buffet, if you will, and you kind of put together this meal. Oh, this is what I like. I like this. I like that. I like this. And you put it all on the same plate. And you get back to your table and you're like, man, I put that all on the same plate. This really doesn't look appealing. That's what it is.
Oh my God.
That's what it is. Like it's all so good funny stuff.
Yeah.
But like, guys, like this isn't a camel. That's the thing. It's not a camel. You know what I'm talking about, the camel? Do you know the camel analogy?
What's the camel?
Oh, the camel, there's a classic thing is like, what is a camel? And a camel is a horse designed by committee.
That is so fucking funny.
Yes. It's actually a great saying. You can say that we have a camel on it. This isn't a camel. It's the salad bar situation where you got everything, because it's like you got everything you wanted, but then like it has to kind of work together. I can see why this is appealing though. Like it is, but I think there's also a level of I don't want to use I don't want to be ableist here, but a little bit of PTSD from how much new metal was coming out when I was in high school. like like we're gun shy. Like I'm gun shy about that sound.
Yeah.
And you get hesitant because you're like, holy shit, like, okay, like I heard so much of this, like I couldn't turn a corner without seeing it, or someone putting a new metal tape in my face or something. That's one of my favorite, when I remember I'm at a record store and they have a sign that says like new metal, like NEW metal, like new stuff they got in. I'll take a photo of it and post the word triggered.
Oh my God.
I'm getting flashbacks to it. Like,
yes,
I really can't emphasize enough, guys. Like, people don't understand how much new metal was coming out at one point in the '90s, like per month, that it was obscene and it just wasn't fun. It stopped being fun.
Yeah,
and so, a lot of it. So you get kind of inundated, and those things kind of pull you back to that thrust of how much is around you. I'm not going to tell you the bad album. Like I don't think it was bad. I don't think that I didn't dislike it. That's the thing. I didn't hate it. I thought it was fine. If someone put it on the car, I'd be like, all right, cool. We're going to listen to this. But I don't see myself actively pursuing listening to this. And I think that's that for me, at least, like in my looking back at myself, that's a history of how I've kind of come to appreciate things. Like, you know what? I can see why people would like this.
Yeah.
But it's not for me. And that comes out a lot. This is a little philosophical for my background here, but that comes out of a Kantian view of aesthetics, which is I can see why this would be appreciated, but under my current context, no,
not really. Yeah, that's fine.
My own current context. So, but yeah, salad bar. That's my final. After I talk about Kant, salad bar.
So I'm going to tell you something that I didn't exactly tell you when I gave you this album.
This is your favorite album of all time, and I hurt your feelings.
It's not. But it's by my favorite band of all time. So this is my favorite band, Architects. I've been listening to them for years and years and years now. I'm seeing them later this year, which I'm excited about.
Who's playing with? Who are they playing with?
It's Era and Holy Water.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So this album is regarded by some people as one of the best metalcore albums of all time.
Interesting.
And I agree with that. I think it has a lot of really, really good. Like if you had to make a checklist of a very effective, now I wouldn't say perfect, but a very effective metalcore album, this would check all the boxes.
Interesting. I think that's fair.
And it would check all the boxes, whether or not it's your favorite. That's obviously up to opinion, but I am a very big fan of this album. I love the band itself and the story behind the trilogy of albums. The one that came before this one. It's not
you put me in the middle of the sequence. You didn't let me lead into it by giving me the whole trilogy.
No.
That's like watching Empire Strikes Back, and you're like, "Well, who are these chumps?" And it's the greatest movie of all times.
Yeah,
and you're like, "Well, I have no still. Who the hell is this Skywalker guy? Why should I care?" Like, oh, that's what you did to me. Damn it, Bill.
No, it's not exactly a trilogy. It's actually a lot sadder than that.
Okay.
In the album before this one, Lost Together, Lost Forever, I think, or other way around, doesn't matter. That is when the main guitarist was diagnosed with cancer. And this album, all of the lyrics and all of the songs are essentially him writing about grappling with that.
Well, I feel bad for calling him emo, but okay.
Well, I mean, that's why they're so emo. That's why this album is so sad and so emo. And if you look at the names of the songs, Nihilist, Death Wish, Gone with the Wind, The Empty Hourglass, Memento Mori, it's not subtle.
Interesting.
And this was the last album with Tom Searle was his name. And then the album after that, he had contributed to, but he unfortunately passed away before it. Yeah. And it is the next album is another one that people commonly regard as one of the best metalcore albums, because of that raw emotion and just despair, honestly, for losing. Because one of the other members in the band is his brother. So you get that, like, it comes through just the despair and like sadness, and that's why I think it's so effective.
We talked about like siblings and bands too recently. We talked about like a Skeleton Witch.
Yes,
having to struggle with that, and that's a hard thing when you
it's
lose
tough.
a member for various tragedies. I mean, whether it's someone getting cancer or alcoholism or something like that, that can be really drug use. There's all kinds of reasons people can split out, but like when it's siblings, that can be really rough. Totally understandable. Okay. I really went into it no context. I really wanted to go and just listen to it. And I think that's part of why I like this exercise is just trying to go in and take it for face value for what it is. And I think it's kind of a lost art, especially with how much information we have access to. Is like we can find everybody so easily, find stuff about whatever band background, who are these people, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go in and like, what is my opinion of this piece of music? Hearing all that now, I'm like, okay, I can see why someone would make it this way. I can see all that. That's fine context. Do I think I'll go back and listen to it because of that? No.
Yes, that was not what I was hoping to. That was not the reaction I was hoping to get. But I wanted you to go in at face value, and then I wanted to tell you the context later for it to kind of make more sense. But now that I tell you that, it makes more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. So basically, you're asking, John, why don't you have any sympathy for these people? Okay.
Yeah, John, why are you an asshole?
How dare you, sir?
Yeah.
How dare you so? No, fair enough. I can appreciate that all.
Now on a totally different note.
Well, no, I mean not a totally different note because I gave you an album that is. I don't want to say anything. You tell the people at home what album I prescribed to you. I gave you a prescription for.
What I prescribed to John, All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us, a song or an album about grappling with your own mortality. And
little known at the time when you were
little known at the time. I was given Motherblood by a band called Grave Pleasures
from Finland.
They're Finnish guys, yeah. Speaking of finishing, this is a very romantic album that I just like your analogy, not really analogy, but just like the way I would describe this album was if every single member of Depeche Mode wanted to fuck a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, that's
and like it's a banger.
But, literally. Oh my.
Yes, I'm
literally.
I have so many
thinly
veiled.
To be fair, I mean a lot of Depeche Mode is about banging, like
yes, absolutely,
indiscriminately, and then take it to the next level. What about atom bombs? Has Depeche Mode talked about banging atom bombs? Like, no. Well, there's a niche to be filled.
Yes. Speaking of niches to be filled, this album is very sexy. It's really. It's really like romantic and macabre, and it's so gothy too. Like every part of it is just so. God, I can't come up with any more synonyms for romantic, fucking sexy, all that stuff. It's great. Like you have the album cover is so red forward with this kind of blue goddess figure holding all.
It's Kali, man.
Yeah, no, it's Kali, and it's.
Standing over a body.
Over a body, and there's skulls everywhere. I loved this album.
So, was there any tracks that stuck out to you, or like what about the musically? Like, I mean, you talk about being gothy, but like, what do you mean by that?
We're gonna get into that.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. Okay.
So, the sound is incredible. I did not expect this to be the sound when I looked at the album cover. And
let me ask that question: what did you expect by the album cover?
I expected more metal.
Okay.
I expected more like I was thinking this was gonna sound kind of like a Dio cover band. Like
Okay,
that's
a
what I was
little more
seeing.
solemn, a little more slower.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, solemn and slow.
Dio's fairly. I don't say it's slow, but like it's slower than a lot of heavy metal that was coming out at the time. A lot
Yeah.
more
Oh
epic.
yeah.
Yeah, and this is epic, but it's in a different way.
In a very
Yeah,
different
yeah.
way. So I loved this album.
Okay.
It has a really solid opener. Infatuation Overkill is the song that it kind of started with, and that really set the tone. And I was like, "Oh, this is what I'm listening to." It
Did
goes.
you watch the video for it?
I did not, but I will
Okay.
after this.
Okay.
I the songs. This whole album is like just dripping with style, like
Mhm.
and style and intention, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of the right decisions.
Mhm.
It has such a killer vibe. And I actually had a similar kind of feeling about you listening to All Our Gods. Some of the, I felt like there was a point where I reached like a saturation point,
Mhm.
where like the songs kind of started to blend together for a little bit to me because they had a very similar, very like kind of consistent sound.
Mhm.
And like I had to check a few times to see if the song that was playing was the same song that I had like
Yeah.
I had to check, right? um but I fell in love with this album. I absolutely did, and I think that's kind of, I mean, that's what it's looking for, right?
I think so.
And it's looking for you to really like kind of buy into it, and
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
sells like this great world, and it gives a whole new meaning to how I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb. And there's so many references to like nuclear weaponry, annihilation. There's atomic Christ, falling for an atom bomb, doomsday rainbows, be
Yes.
my Hiroshima. Like
Oh yeah.
it's it's all, that's their whole thing, and I think it works.
Yeah.
It's great. And I could talk about this album for a very, very, very long time. And I just want to leave you with one more thing that really kind of solidifies the fact that I really enjoy this song
Okay.
or this album. So I have a thing I do on Spotify or playlist or whatever. It's a playlist. It could be adapted to any music
Mhm.
platform, called The Archives, where every month when I listen to a song and I hear it and I'm like, oh, I'm going to listen to this a lot, or I am listening to it a lot,
Mhm.
I'll stick it on a playlist called The Archives number whatever the hell. I'm on
Okay.
49 now.
Mhm.
And every month or 30 songs or so, I will go to the next one. So
Mhm.
my current one, The Archives number 49, has 6 songs from this album.
Oh wow.
This album has tens. I have more than half the album already in my archives now. And it is, oh God, that's
What?
just, yeah.
So was there a track that stuck out to you then?
Yes, I absolutely adore Doomsday Rainbows was the one where I
Mhm.
was like, okay, all right, I see it. I'm into
Yeah.
this. I'm really into this. And then the one that really kind of drew me in was Atomic Christ.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about that song actually.
Yeah.
But
Well, now I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it.
I will say, yeah, Doomsday Rainbow has some of the best, has some really good lyrics where he says, what's the lyric? When I'm high on a mushroom cloud, getting
Oh,
turned
when
on
I'm
by the death toll. Like
like
it's fucking wild. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Depeche Mode, but if they wanted to fuck
yeah.
nuclear
So I'll
weaponry,
read a
like,
quote here from the lead guy's Mac McNearney. Sorry, yeah, Nearney. And it's important to understand the kind of context of this band, which was a few things. One, this is a band that came out of another band that kind of fell apart called Beast Milk.
mhm.
And Grave Pleasures will play Beast Milk songs, but like there's one member that kind
Oh,
of left basically, and they
okay.
kind of had to reform. And they come out of black metal. Matt, the
Really?
lead guy of the band was he was in black metal band prior to this.
I can absolutely hear that.
Yeah,
They're also Finnish. There's like
and
a 1 in 10 chance.
they got their pickup because their demo got in the hands of Fenris from Darkthrone, and he played it.
Whoa.
Yeah, so like there is a huge element of like black metal to this, but it's not black metal by any stretch of imagination.
Yeah.
And I think that is really, really interesting in that you kind of have, what was the other band he was in? He was in, yeah, Matt McNerney was in Dodheim God. And he also has a folk project called Hex Festival that's very good. It has an album that just came out this like last week or so.
Huh.
I'm in love with Matt McNerney. He's worked with like one of my favorite bands in the world is called Mansion. I'm gonna have you don't go look up Mansion because I'm gonna have you listen to a Mansion album at some point. Yeah, this dude is a beast. He is a beast. This album is really interesting because yeah, as you have all this kind of stuff, they did a video, some videos for this. Infatuation Overkill is a video, and then the big video that got the kind of popular was the Joy Through Death video, which is really fucking amazing. I can't recommend that video enough. And then they did a follow-up album to this in 2023 called Plague Boys, which is very much about, from my understanding, it's kind of McNerney talking about the Plague Boys in question are like his sons that are basically being raised during COVID. Wow. And yeah, so take the vibe of this album from 2017 and think COVID happens to you and you're raising kids.
So it's just sad.
It's saddish, but like it's also he also kind of celebrates it. And yeah, it's kind of a continuation of it. But like I'll read a quote from him about this album. This is from their Bandcamp page. This is him talking about this album. He says, I try to write songs about the unexplored human darkness of the nightmares, but also the joys inherent in it. It's about accursed attractions and making love to your nihilism. Misery loves catharsis. And so I think that's it. And it's a very danceable album. Like you can play this on the dance floor.
Oh, you can jam to this.
But you can also rock out and headbang.
Oh, yeah.
They have a really good live album that they recorded at Roadburn. Are you familiar with Roadburn?
Yeah, I know Roadburn.
Yeah, they recorded a live album at Roadburn that has most of these songs on it. It's a very, very good one. I highly recommend it. I would say the only song here is not really about atomic bombs is Mind Intruder. Mind Intruder
it stuck out to me too.
Yeah, Mind Intruder is more like it's about like MK Ultra and like fucking mind control shit and like it's about like kind of like domestic violence in the United States. There's references to like the Colorado shooting at the Dark Knight film. Like there's a lot of references to like domestic violence in the U.S. there, Charlie Manson, all this kind of stuff. But that song's really like I think that flirting with the darkness is really good. I do want to mention Atomic Christ is a big one because the opening of that song, it's led in by a reading from David Tibet. So David Tibet, if you're not familiar, is the lead guy of Current 93. This is how do I put Current 93? Everyone's been in Current 93. Bjork was in Current 93.
Interesting.
What's his name? Andrew, what's his name? What's Party Guy? He was in the band.
What?
Yes, there was a band that had members of Death in June were in the band. And like it is a band that's had everyone come through for over the last if you've never looked at the Current 93 discography,
I need to look at their like members history. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like a deep roster. Are you familiar with Genesis Peorage from
yes.
Yeah, so Genesis Peorage is the one that named David Tibet, that gave him that name.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, when they're all part of that kind of commune there and everything. But like, yeah, here I'll put the link. Well, yeah, they were kind of ripping off the government, getting like art money to do these albums and shit. But anyways, but yeah, and a lot of his songs like Lucifer Over London and a lot of songs like there's a lot of Current 93 songs that are very like apocalyptic. And that bringing him in on this was a very big surprise for me because I'm a big Current 93 fan.
Really?
Yeah, Current 93 fans are diehard fans. I will say, like you either love it or you fucking hate them.
I wonder where I will fall.
Yeah. Oh, another member of Current 93, Nick Cave was in it briefly.
Christ.
Was in it briefly. Yeah. So I mean, like
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's wild. Like it's a band that's had a lot of people come through here and there on different parts of it. But David Tibet's been the core member, the only real core member of it all. People want to work with him. He's a really interesting guy. But like, I got to meet him at he did his first actual like visual art exhibit down in actually Long Beach at CSU Long Beach,
Ooh.
and I got to meet him and see his thing. It was really cool. But him doing that intro was a real surprise, and it made a lot of sense. This wasn't like we brought this guy in just to like make an appearance on the album. We brought him in because he's one of the terms for neo folk at the time was called was apocalyptic folk, which David Tibet kind of coined, saying, "Oh, we're apocalyptic folk," but he didn't mean like folk music. He meant like we're people that are see the end of the world happening soon. So
Yeah.
so there's that. So that bringing in that element's a big part of it. And Tibet's really into like Christian mysticism.
Yeah.
And so that bringing that in, this kind of mysticism, this kind of like mystical relationship with like atomic bombs and all this stuff
Yeah.
is really interesting. But yeah, that album, that whole thing sticks out to me. And I think everything that Grave Pleasures have done is excellent. I think Beast Milk, the thing was the previous project, Beast Milk, was really good. But I'd recommend everything by these guys. Plague Boys is really strong. I'm hoping they have something new come out. Hex Vessel, if you haven't checked out, is very good too.
I'll check it out. I want to check. I saw Plague Boys, but I hadn't listened to it, and I really want, now that with this context that you've given me, I really want to check it out. I really dig that.
And I recommend checking out some of the videos too for that one. One of the songs on that album, "Heart Like a Slaughterhouse," that video that's a very sexy song. "Heart Like a Slaughterhouse" is a very sexy song. But I really can't recommend all of it enough here. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I'm glad I got you a little surprise there.
Yeah.
I'm now 2 for 2 with you. We're 2-0 because you haven't won one with me yet. Like you haven't given me something where I'm like, I couldn't believe how amazing this was. Bill, thank you so much for changing my life here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm leading up to that.
Are you going to change my life here?
One you fucking hated. I gave you one you were fine with, and now the next one, who knows, you might like. We'll see.
Okay, I got one more member of Current 93 for you, or a person that worked with them. Tiny Tim.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
No way. You are lying to me.
No, there's a Current 93 presents Tiny Tim album.
That's insane. That's utterly insane.
Yeah,
it's right here. Oh my god.
It's wild, man. It's absolutely unhinged.
What the hell?
Yeah, of how deep like the roots of Current 93 go into everything. They're one of those bands I will say like there's a lot of elements that can be taken out of context very quickly, and I would recommend trying to like read and be sympathetic when you go and listen to it.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I'm Grave Pleasures, man. I'm glad you liked it, dude. I'd love to. I'll have to see about. Matt McNeary is one of these guys that I will listen to anything, everything he does. He's one of these guys that I just think is just killer. Yeah, go check out Hex Vessel. Very different.
I'll check it out.
It's much more doom metally folk, like kind of folk rock. It's very foresty and solemn. It's the inverse of this.
Yeah, I actually got a little anecdote to share with you.
Oh, please, you got an anecdote. Let's do that.
So this album gave me flashbacks to college.
Okay.
Because one of the greatest classes that I took, and not because of the subject matter, but because of the professor and his willingness to kind of go along with my bullshit. And you'll see what I mean by this. So the class was called Weapons of Mass Destruction. Okay. And it was all about, and it fulfilled like 3 requirements for me. It was writing, math, and like, I think it was something creative analysis or whatever. I don't remember, but it was 3. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting. And so my professor, I was about to say his name. I'm not going to dox him on a podcast, but he was so driven and so interested in the subject matter and taught it in such an effective way. And it was a harrowing class. There were portions of it that were just horrific, but it was so interesting because he was such a good guide to that. And I think it's something that a lot of people should know more about because it's this literal fucking specter above our entire world, right? And my final project for that class was an essay that I called Even Heavier Metals, the relationship between metal music and nuclear weaponry.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite essay I've ever written, and I don't think it will be even close anytime soon. I was talking about like Megadeth, which
Oh
obviously
yeah.
I was talking about like other bands called like one called The Browning, which is all about that. I was just talking about a lot of the thrash metal from the
Mhm.
80s and 90s that was just about fucking nuclear
Oh yeah.
annihilation. And this is so blatant with it.
Sure.
It's so blatant with it. Um, but the reason why I think it struck such a chord with me, pun intended, was because I learned from that class my interest in this subject
Mm.
and not like romanticizing it, which this album is kind of doing. But I just thought it's something so interesting, right? We've taken these tiny little things and made the worst thing imaginable.
I think what's interesting about the Great Pleasure albums is I think they do romanticize like nuclear weapons and like this kind of apocalypse, but they don't like shy away from the horror of it at the same
No,
time.
no, they
It is
romanticize
it
the
is
horror
they
too, and I
romant
think
and
that's
yeah,
effective.
and they never shy away from it, but they kind of like accept it.
Yes.
And I find it like that kind of repulsion with
Mhm.
like the acceptance combination, which is a really interesting combination. And they
Yeah,
kind of do that throughout the whole thing. So
they
yeah, no,
do. They really
well
do. And it is it is in and of itself like an album about the human
mhm.
desire for kind of self-destruction,
Yes, yes,
which also rings true to my favorite movie, Annihilation, which
okay,
is all about self-destruction. And like this album like really spoke. So thank you, John. This
okay.
album
Well,
really spoke to me on so many levels, and I'm going to be listening to it for a long time.
very good, excellent. Well,
Mm.
I'm glad we're going on such a high note. No, the
Oh
Architects
yeah,
album, I thought it was. I'm glad I listened to it. I'm actually glad
yeah.
like I sat down and listened to it. I'm glad for the experience. I'm glad I took a shot on it and the like. So I thank you too, Bill, for all this.
Hmm.
Guys, we are going to do more of these. We're trying to do one of these swaps a month,
Yeah,
but they're kind of fun to talk about. So,
they're fun.
anyone,
I'm
thank
excited for the
you
next one.
so much for listening to More Than Metal. We'll be back with another episode in this thing called the future.
Yeah.
That's what
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to. All right, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.
See ya.
Bye.